Hello, this is Scott Sperling, and this is my individual capstone project for strategic knowledge and integration. In this project, I will provide details on Crown Castle, the company I work for, Crown's competitors, the wireless environment, uh, and internal and external analysis. I'll provide the strategic issues of Crown Castle and recommendations to overcome those strategic issues. Two issues are a lack of cohesive internal systems and minimal customer accessibility to our systems. A little bit about Crown Castle's background. You can see what's of note is we primarily operate in the United States, and we have 40,000 cell phone towers, which is the second most in the US. Here's some history of Crown Castle. You'll see acquired a lot on this screen. That's how we've diversified and differentiated, acquiring towers and then a lot of fiber beginning in 2015, which allowed us to provide a turnkey solution with towers, small cell, and fiber. So next is our competitors. You can see American Tower and SBAC, as well as XNet and Zayo. American Tower and SBA are two biggest, and especially in the tower space. American Tower is global, and they have 40,586 towers in the US, so a little bit more than us. SBAC has about 15,000 towers. Among the three, or all three together, it's about 77% of the towers in the US between them. And we compete against Extenet and Zayo in the small cell space. And there's a host of competitors on fiber from AT&T and Verizon to Comcast, CenturyLink, Frontier, just to name a few. What are the current trends in telecommunications? Those are implementation of 5G. You may have heard of it. It's going to help with download speeds. It's going to help with low latency. You click on a link for a site, it's going to happen a lot faster. And that's from 5G. And it's going to enable smart cities to be viable. There's going to be an increase in IoT, Internet of Things. So those are network connected devices that talk to each other, controlled and monitored remotely. Think about your wearables. Think about a self-driving car. Think about healthcare, drug effectiveness tracing, air quality. The emergence of smart cities. So for people to be connected to their local government, interact with it, they can monitor traffic, weather, energy, trash pickup. It's just going to improve their daily lives through easier and more connectivity. And then diversified ecosystems. By 2021, it's estimated there'll be 30 billion connected devices worldwide. This will create a network of cross-industry organizations working together to create strong, more advanced industry, and telecom could be one of the first to move that way. Accenture estimates ecosystems will unlock 100 trillion in value over the next 10 years. Next up, I completed external analysis using Porter's five forces. What's interesting is I found 4 of the 5 to be low, and probably not a surprise that the one that was high was competition. What was funny about the other 4 was the threat of substitute products was low, because really the only threat would be a dial-up connection, which isn't going to happen. But industry competition is very high. The towers amongst AMT and SBAC, the whole host of fiber competitors, and that's where there's a lot of low switching costs for customers, and we really compete a lot based on price, and maybe lose out of business on price. So we have to differentiate with our service and our better product. So competition is very high. How do we react to that increased competition? Well, we provide those turnkey solutions through small cells, fiber and towers all working together. That one-stop shop for the customer. Also, our approved project management tools that help us keep projects on time and on budget, which we're working on a project now to improve on our tools. That's going to kick off probably late this year for one of our businesses, and the rest of them in 2021. And then our internal digital transformation, our establishment of our digital transformation team to review internal systems, implement changes to better leverage our people and assets, and to provide that business transformation that we need to stay ahead of the curve and continue to compete. I completed a pestle analysis, and what I found interesting from this analysis was the socio-cultural had high relevance for all the categories: population growth, work from home, and smart cities. We're going to need more data, more people connected, um, population growth more. I mean, you can see young children using phones. My daughter, 1 year old, like goes after the phone. It's just like inherent in our DNA at this point, I think. But it's going to be prevalent, and we have to be ready for it, and we want people to be connected and really harness the power of all these connected devices. Um, technological, high relevance for technical partnerships and tech enhancements. Who can find that next enhancement, who can find the next product they can leverage their infrastructure with for additional revenue, and more partnerships in those spaces like Crown House with Vapor IO, kind of an edge computing um, hardware provider, space provider. They provide cabinets for edge computing solutions like data centers using our cell tower sites. Ecological, we care about the environment. That's kind of low. Energy cost is low. We don't want any birds or endangered species to be injured while working on towers, as well as the safety of the communities around them. And then legal, this is probably one of the most interesting, or the most interesting, is the government relations and local municipalities and communities. Those are high relevancies. Um, Governments work a little slow, and we really have to advocate and really form partnerships with them so they understand our technology and why the communities need us. And then local municipalities and communities, they're the gatekeepers for zoning and permitting, so we can get our projects completed on time and on budget. Completed a SWOT analysis, and this confirmed that ambidexterity is our biggest strength, followed by our customer focus and well-placed assets to provide a turnkey solution in our culture. Our weaknesses, no surprise there, internal systems, which then trickles down to like customer reporting is very, it's not robust at all. Brand recognition is pretty low unless you're in telecom. We have opportunities for direct construction, which we're going to be doing this year, but there's more opportunities out there. As I mentioned, partnership with tech companies, um, being able to, there are opportunities to add additional revenue through services revenue growth. So looking at situations where not providing direct construction, can we do zoning and permitting? Can we do construction drawings? Going after that business more aggressively than we have in the past, and then project management opportunities to be better using the new tools we have, using the 5 pillars of project management and the training we had to really be the easy button for the customer. Our threats, the uncertain road through framework with these new technologies, more telecom consolidation that could hurt our business unless we're prepared. If we lost, site-run revenue because of more consolidation, that might hurt us unless we're prepared well. And then, is our digital transformation too late? We're making these changes with these teams, but are we doing enough? Could we have done more 2 years ago that would have had a bigger impact and put us in a lot better place to be that turnkey solution for our customers? I completed the VRIO analysis. That also confirmed Crown's competitive advantages are ambidexterity, dynamic culture, an all-inclusive turnkey easy button solution for our customers, and our assets are another big competitive advantage. As an example, Crown has shown how it's implemented tower portfolio acquisitions as well as company acquisitions into its strategy and having an immediate positive effect on revenue and share price. I feel this is a core competency because of how well Crown's employees also apply ambidexterity. Being able to flex, being able to take on new opportunities, that's huge, and that was exemplified by our recent reorganization that occurred just recently, where in the matter of 4 months, we created these 2 new organizations, a lot of management folks switching positions, new teams being formed, and this all happened while we were under work from home orders due to COVID-19. There's no way that would have been possible if Crown was not ambidextrous. I completed a core competency analysis, and no surprise, ambidexterity as a competency strength of 18. Acquisition, integration, we're very good at it. That's how we got to where we are. So I gave that a 16. We have a history of well-planned and executed acquisitions. And then customer service, right from our mission statement all the way down to internally when we say we're customer obsessed. We do put the customer high on our priority list. We want to be partners with them and consultants, and really grow with them. So that's why I included that as one of the core competencies. So what's our competitive differentiation strategy? We're that turnkey easy button solution. We have the assets in the right places. We have the ambidexterity to make changes happen quickly, and adjust as customers adjust. So that's how we differentiate. And being that easy button, that's where we want to be, and we're getting there. We just need a little bit more of a push, and that's part of the strategic issue that we have. Next up is the financial analysis piece. I looked at comparing Crown Castle to AMT and SBA for fiscal year ended 2019, and I looked at Crown's internal results on this slide from 18 to 19. The next slide I looked at the last 5 years through 2019. What's kind of interesting on this slide is you can see on the left how Crown has increased in all measures by 6-7%, except net income went up 38%. So appeared we need that net income increase to keep up the FFO, site run revenue, adjusted EBITDA. And those measures are included because we're a REIT, and those are the main financial indicators of performance that we identify. And then if you look at Crown to competitors, our gross profit margin was low compared to AMT and SBA. We have room to increase that. I think with the help of our supply chain and that business being built up, getting those national agreements with vendors to decrease cost. We had a 15% return on revenue, which was in between AMT and SBAC. We could look to improve our return on revenue through that increase in services revenue I spoke about. We have a business services development team to go after that business and be more aggressive and obtain it, and not miss any opportunities for revenue growth. And then here's our next financial analysis slide, just looking at Crown's performance over the last 5 years. You can see net income continues to grow. Gross profit margin dipped in 17. That was partly due to acquisitions of Light Tower and Wilcon, those fiber businesses, and those acquisitions totaled $8 billion in acquisition costs. So just a little bit of the financial information there. Our site rental revenues continue to increase, and that just shows how strong our site rental agreements are. We get those for 5 years, 10 to 15 years. So we have that long period of growth that we can, I don't want to say rely on, but they definitely see helps our numbers. It really helps in times like, when there's economic crisis. We're still well positioned. We're gonna get rents from our carriers. I don't want to say that telecom is recession proof, but I mean, you need 911 services. You need those first responders. You need people to connect. So, people are gonna pay their cell phone bill over other things because they need to be connected and because they don't have a landline phone. So lastly, my recommendations, implementation of new internal systems across financial, CRM, asset data management as well, and then make these accessible on desktop, obviously, and then some kind of mobile-like capability as well. But if we had that synergy, that cohesion among all three businesses, I mean, that would be huge. We'd really take more leaps and really be that turnkey solution and just be easier to identify opportunities, just to do business, to really know how much revenue we're getting in a certain location. There's just so many possibilities. And then creating a cloud environment where customers can access project data, contract data, see POs and invoices, statuses, available Crown assets to help with our network. So a lot of things we could do, and with our digital transformation team in place, I think we can make these happen. And because of our ambidexterity, a clear corporate vision already in place, and Crown's well-placed assets, I think we can make this happen. So thank you very much. I appreciate it.